Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a unboxing and review of the brand new Samsung 7 Series Chronos. This is the Samsung 700Z5A S04, just released in the US. You can see that. Yeah, it's not the Z5B, the Best Buy version, which was released maybe like 2 months ago. This is the full spec version of this computer. It's been delayed for about a month, but it finally came out in the mail. I just got it in the mail today. This is the Intel Core i7 processor with 6 gigs of RAM and the Radeon 6750 graphics card. So this computer, again, pretty much no one has it right now, so I just wanted to give you an unboxing and review of this computer. First off, we got the just regular power cord right here. Cable. It's the computer, which we'll get to in a second. It's kind of heavy. And here's the manual, user manual with the driver's CD, recovery CD, and whatnot. And seems like that's pretty much it. I thought this computer was going to come with an adapter for the HDMI or VGA output, but I guess it's not in here. So we'll have to see if we can get that later or whatnot. So let's take a look at the computer. Alright, well, here's the computer. It's looks really sleek and nice. It's super thin, which is really important to me. It is a bit heavy. It feels very sturdy. So let's open this thing up and take a look around the computer. Alright guys, I just took off all the plastic wrapping on it, and my first impressions is that the computer just feels really solid. It's mostly made of aluminum, so it's got this really sturdy feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It doesn't feel plasticky or anything like that. And again, like I said before, it's just super thin. The one thing about this computer, it's the 15.6 inch version, so it is going to be pretty wide. It does feel like a pretty wide computer, but doesn't have a lot of depth this way. And again, it's just super thin. So it just feels really sturdy in hand. It feels really good, and it's got a really good design. Alright guys, let's just take a look around on the computer now. On the right side, we got a USB port and a slot load DVD drive, DVD burner. It's not a Blu-ray drive, but you know, probably at this resolution you don't need it anyway. The back's just pretty much, it's got a little sticker here. The back pretty much there's nothing on it. There are fans or perhaps speakers under here, so we'll take a look at that later. And on this side we got the Kensington lock, we got the power, HDMI, this is the Ethernet port. It's got this little moving part which I hope doesn't break in the future, but as long, you know, most people don't use it, so if you just keep it closed it'll probably be okay. It's got 2 more USB ports on this side. This is the adapter for the video out. I was pretty sure this computer was supposed to come with some kind of adapter for this, but I looked in the box and it didn't seem like there was anything in there, so I'll probably have to give Samsung a call or something. This is a microphone, headphone, dual input-output jack, so I would have preferred separate jacks for this, but can't have everything. Also, the front has this SD card slot right here, 4-in-1 SD card slot, placed right in the front. Pretty much standard on most computers these days. That's pretty much it. I mean, the bottom, you got an opening for the memory, and some ventilation for fans, but that's pretty much all you have here. And the top is just really simple, just the Samsung logo and the brushed aluminum top. Let's take a look inside. Alright, so The first thing you notice about this computer is that when you open it, it just feels really large. The screen is huge. It's got that really thin bezel, which I really like. And yeah, and it's got a full keyboard with the numpad. So it just feels like a really huge computer on the inside, but when you close it, it actually doesn't feel very large. It feels like you know, very compact, sturdy design. So that's actually, you get the best of both worlds. When you use the computer, you know, you can, you really feel like you have a lot of workspace. But when you close it, it is portable enough to carry around pretty much all day. Alright, so here's the computer. The keyboard is, you know, Island chiclet style keyboard, pretty much same as the Mac. A lot of people call this like like a Mac clone computer for PCs. But you know, the keyboard feels really good. It's got really good feedback, and it's just really comfortable. I like how Samsung insets their keyboard. It's a really nice design and style. It's got a little microphone hole right here, right there, and this touchpad is also very large, pretty much like the MacBooks, the MacBook Pro. It is a glass coated or glass trackpad, so it is very smooth and it feels you know, very good quality. Again, I just haven't, you know, I haven't tried the computer out yet, so we'll get to that later. But as of right now, I just got the logo badges, and I think the speakers are in here. They're inset in here with some fans as well. It's hard to see, but I guess to minimize the look of the computer, or the design of the computer. The webcam, this is a 1.3 megapixel webcam, but it's you know, I used it in the store and it feels like you know, a really good quality webcam. It's not choppy or too grainy. It feels like it's pretty good quality. So, because a lot of the laptops you buy these days, they have those really cheap webcams that or integrated webcams that, you know, output pretty poor quality videos or photos. Oh, and also the screen is matte. It's a matte screen, so there isn't much glare. So Samsung incorporated that in the Samsung 7 series laptop. So yeah, let's take a look at this computer turned on. Let's plug this in. Alright, I've got the charging light on, and let's power this up. Alright, also this is the backlit keyboard version. The Best Buy version doesn't have the backlit keyboard, so that's a nice feature of the fully spec version of the Samsung 7 series Chronos. Again, this also uses the ATI 6750 graphics card, mobile graphics card. Not the best graphics card, but for a computer this thin, it's pretty good. Alright guys, so I just set up the computer, just the initial setup. But yeah, my first impressions, the keyboard is just really nice. It's really nice to type on. It's got a really good like textured feel to it. It's really comfortable. Also, I'm really impressed with this trackpad. It's really, well, obviously it's large. It's huge actually, and it's just really smooth. You could tell it's a quality trackpad. It's not like my Dell, which is tiny and also doesn't feel that good. Also, the screen is a 1600 by 900 resolution. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys were complaining about the screen, or that's what they were talking about in the forums. It isn't the best screen. Obviously, the viewing angles aren't great. It's definitely a TN panel. You know, some people were complaining about the contrast ratios or the black levels, but from what I can tell at startup, it feels like it's definitely a bright screen. It's definitely really bright, and the colors seem, you know, adequate. there's an adequate production of colors. I do have a Dell 24-inch IPS screen at home, so it's not, the screen doesn't compare to that, but as long as you're using it head-on, it shouldn't be a problem. Even when you're using photography or anything like that, or doing Photoshop, it should be good enough. I will also calibrate the screen using my color spider from home. So, but yeah, it's got a Core i7 processor, which should be fast enough for pretty much anything from video editing to photography to games. I haven't put in, I just opened up this computer, so I haven't installed any programs yet. There is a good bit of bloatware, so I'm going to have to spend the next couple of hours probably on uninstalling stuff and installing my own programs. But pretty much, yeah, the computer just feels really snappy. Everything seems to be working really well. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. So, oh, and this computer also uses integrated graphics as well, so it switches between the dedicated 6750 ATI card and the dedicated, Intel graphics to save on battery life. I can't really vouch for how long the battery life will last because, I haven't had this computer for very long yet. But when you first start up the computer, it asks you to create a partition. I think the default settings, it splits it up into two partitions. The default setting is the C drive would be 270 gigs and the D drive would be 404 gigs. It's a good idea to partition your hard drive so that when you reformat, you don't have to lose all your data, or it'll be easier to keep your files on your computer. Also, this computer has something called Express Cache, which is kind of like a hybrid solid state disk as well as the standard hard drive. So this computer has 750 gigs of hard drive space, but it also uses the solid state to speed up certain applications or even the startup of the computer. So let's test that right now. I'm going to restart the computer and let's see just how fast it starts up. Okay, so I'm just shutting the computer down. See how fast it can start up right off the power button. One thing I noticed about this computer too is that it's very quiet. The fans, even when they're running, it's pretty quiet. And I think there's a fan button, so you can just turn off the fan if you don't want it to be running. But in general, the computer is very quiet. Yeah, that was pretty fast. I wasn't expecting it to be that fast. So you could definitely tell that the Express Cache is kicking in. On my desktop computer at home, I don't have a solid state drive, so startups can be pretty slow sometimes. It also helps with the Express Cache also helps with coming back on from sleep. So let's test that. Apparently, Samsung employs this technology that allows it to start up within 3 seconds. Alright, so now it's in sleep. Let's see what happens. It's pretty much instant on. The sleep mode, it's kind of like hibernate, kind of shuts off everything. So coming back from sleep is it's pretty nice. This trackpad also is a fully multi-touch gestures, so you can zoom, scroll, right-click with it, and also you can physically push the pad for left click. And if you click the bottom right, it will right click on the screen. It will enable the right click. or you can set it up. I haven't set it up yet, but you can double tap or triple tap for a right click. A couple other things I noticed about this computer is on the right palm rest there is a slight amount of flex. I don't really care about that, but some people, some laptop users really care about flex. So the keyboard feels pretty solid. There is no, I didn't detect any amount of flex on the keyboard, but on the palm rest there, on the right palm rest there is a slight amount of flex. I also looked over the quick start guide, and apparently the VGA adapter for the side port here, I'll show you right there, that port on some models in some other countries it comes with the VGA adapter, but apparently in the US it's an optional accessory and didn't come with the unit, so I was kind of disappointed about that. I expected it to be in the box, but it's not in there. Again, this is the fully fledged Samsung Series 7 Chronos version with all the specs. Over the Best Buy version, again, it has the backlight keyboard, the full 6750 graphics card. This also comes with Express Catch. The Best Buy version doesn't come with that. And the Best Buy version also doesn't have Bluetooth. So this has all the radios. It has Bluetooth. It has BGN wireless. So yeah, in general, it just feels like a really solid computer. There isn't much flex. I didn't really notice anything. Everything feels pretty solid. Yeah, all in all, I'm pretty impressed with this machine. It just feels like a premium laptop. Obviously the obvious comparisons are to compare this computer to the MacBook Pro. Features wise, it blows the MacBook Pro out of the water. Even the 15-inch, if you were to get a comparable 15-inch MacBook Pro, it would cost around $2,500. So for much less, for like you could probably buy two of these computers for the price of the one MacBook. So in terms of features, it's just a great computer. I've used it for a couple hours now, and it's been a joy to use. It's just a premium computer, premium laptop. The screen isn't the greatest. It's not the highest quality screen, but I wasn't expecting it to be. So other than that, it's been a great computer. A lot of settings that you can adjust in terms of the multi-gesture touchpad. You can change the settings to the way you like, and the Express Catch options. There are a lot of things you can use here, and it's a good computer. It just feels really solid, and it's hard to find a laptop on the market, especially a Windows machine, that comes with all these features in an extremely compact design. It's incredibly thin, with this quality construction, with all the specs that are included in this computer. Pretty much you can't find it on the market. So for a lot of you, if you can live with the screen, I would go with this computer. I mean, it's just a great machine, and it's been a joy to use. So yeah, if you have any questions, please write a comment, and thanks for watching.